a little bit more comfortable. My background is in hospitality and restaurants, because when you come to America, you either go work on a building site or you work in a bar. And I came to Minnesota when it was cold, so I didn't want to work on a building site. So I started working with a guy called Kieran Folliard, who has since created some shitty whiskey that he's really good at marketing called Two Gingers. But if you mix it with ginger ale and lots of ice, add a lemon and lime, it'll keep away scurvy and it tastes pretty good. When I was working with him, he was kind of an IT innovator, even though he didn't realize it at the time. What was really important to him was that once the guest comes into the restaurant, how do we give them an experience that they want to come back? He didn't believe in spending a lot of money on putting ads in city pages and Star Tribune for people to come into his restaurant. He was more interested when they were in his restaurant, how he could take care of them so they could go out and tell everybody what a good time they had, and then they would come back. And as a marketing model, it worked fantastically well. We were always busy. It always helped that we had good Guinness and good whiskey on tap. But that kind of planted the seed for me. And how he adapted technology into that was that he would record as much as he could those experiences, either through the managers or the servers or the bartenders. At the end of each shift would tell their stories about who they were interacting with and what their story was. So we would remember. So as a manager coming on duty, you look at this previous shift and you get a feel for the people that are coming in. So in the past 6 months, fast forward 7 years later, I'm going to restaurants, and the biggest pain that they have is that you've got Urban Spoon, Yelp, Facebook, Twitter, and they keep naming them all these platforms where people can go on and complain more often than not. They're going to complain about the experience they had when they were in that restaurant. They love to, the bigger the complaint, the more airtime they're going to get on Yelp and Urban Spoon. But what restaurants aren't doing is giving, or any other businesses, giving their guests their own platform to talk directly to them. There's a saying in the restaurant business, if you love what we do, tell others. If you don't like what we do, tell us. The problem with technology and social media right now is there isn't a direct way to tell them. I mean, you can go to their Facebook page, but that's still within a public forum. You can tweet to them, but again, it's in a public forum. So what we created was a platform where a restaurant has their own outlet. So you're at the restaurant and someone just spilled hot soup in your lap and they kind of chuckled at it and thought it was funny. Or, I mean, you can come up with your own horror stories of service because everything's being so sanitized. Well, now you can log in and connect directly to the owner. Now the responsibility on the owner or the responsibility is on the general manager to be able to respond to that. So now we're giving them that platform. That's one way we've done it. The other way we've done it is in events like this, and we've used this actually in the last session, where you've got a speaker and you want to send them a question directly without it being in the public forum. We can do that as well. I wish my IT guy was here and I could actually show you how we do it, but he's not, so I'm not going to. Jeff's on next, I assume?
Yeah, I'll keep it short.
So thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
What'd you talk about?
Didn't tell me service.
At least people applauded.
Yeah.
So hey, real quick, I know Don was going to do this session, and everybody was really excited, anticipated this. At least I did, and other people I was chatting with. But I'm a tech blogger, and I was very interested in observing, being a fly on the wall. I think Don was going to address things that are very important to talk about, and I'm not going to speak for him by any means, but needless to say, I was looking forward to it. And in conclusion, I was going to anticipate doing a little article, right? This guy right here, you see these eyes? This man named Richard Schultz, right? He financed the real estate that we're standing on right now and the chairs that you're sitting in. But where is he? That's the question that I was really most interested about, because this relationship here that MinneBar shares with Best Buy was largely laid thanks to the minds of a gentleman who's no longer with the company named Robert Stevens, right? Anybody not heard of Robert Stevens? Right. So he put this thing together and enabled MinneBar to come in and take the next level in terms of space and real estate, which is really awesome, and expanded the reach and raised the credibility and such. But nonetheless, I haven't seen anybody here from Best Buy. Robert Stevens would come to these events. Awesome. So Best Buy employees here, but nonetheless, or maybe there's more, I'm sure there is too. My point is that Robert Stevens would make it a point to at least acknowledge the audience and be here and be present. I don't expect Richard Schultz to be here per se, but it'd be nice to see somebody from the management team come here and talk to this audience and address them. And maybe even think about how the MinneBar crowd, the people here in this room, could maybe play a role in what they're calling Renew Blue, right? Reinvention of sorts. So, and if anybody has any comments or feedback, I'm working on this piece. I'm going to post it up here within the hour. If you agree or disagree, please tell me. Yes, sir.
Jeff, I know I work for Virtual, which is a division of Health Partners. Okay, we do a lot of cool things, but when you work for Best Buy or Health Partners, I'm searching for the word here, but you can't just come to a public forum and talk about a lot of things what you do compared to a startup. Okay, so there are lots of constraints on what you can disclose and what you cannot disclose. So that's where the fine line is. That's why the management of all these bigger companies who are doing a lot of cooler things in Minnesota is not here.
They can come though, right?
They can come, yes.
That's it.
Yeah. I can't talk a lot about Virtual, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'll just take a page from Don's book because he and I have been talking about this a lot. And yeah, I won't pretend to speak for Don, but I think the core idea is pretty direct and pretty simple. Is let's not chase California, let's not chase New York. Let's get that into our brains and agree on it. That the same formula that works in New York, the same formula that works in California, isn't going to work for us. Let's cut the venture capital dreams and all that. What we have is Fortune 500 here, and let's start thinking about how can those two ecosystems intermingle and reinforce each other. There's something to be gained from both sides of the equation, from large enterprise side and the small enterprise side. And it's an innovation network. You can happily nurture that innovation network and produce a different, form of ecosystem than the coast. And we have unique ingredients and we can do it. That's the next step.
Good points. I'm going to hang the mic up or pass it on to whoever's next, but if anyone has anything that they would like to add or get into this piece, please grab me. The premise really is going to be that if Best Buy truly wants to reinvent itself, it's going to need to be here and engaged and tap the creative talent that comes from MinneBar once a year here. It's an incredible asset, and they're leaving a lot on the table by not doing so. So that's all I got. Whoever's next, come grab the mic, please.
Hey. Thank you. There it is. Does that work? Long-time attendee, first-time presenter. On the spot here. My name is Zach Steven, and I didn't, wasn't really planning to say anything, but thought with the opportunity of having the group here and hearing Jeff's words, and one of the things that struck me at a MinneBar a few years back was it'd be kind of interesting if there was a way to kind of flip the whole startup pitch on its head and put together some kind of teams that were capable of doing stuff and have some of the Fortune 500s pitching the problems that they needed solved to that group for the opportunity for that solution to actually exist. And so haven't given it a whole lot of thought about how something that might work, but when I come to the events like this, I'm struck with how much talent there is, how many kind of opportunities waiting to be solved there are, and I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if we could somehow self-organize a group of people that we know can get things done, thrive on just building cool stuff and getting it to market, and kind of flip the tables a little bit and have the ideas or being pitched, from the 3Ms, from the health partners, from Best Buy, so.
I completely agree. I don't need a big pile of money. I need an idea that gets me to work on a project at night and on the weekends that I'm passionate about. And I want to solve a problem, but someone needs to give me a good problem to solve because I'm not coming up with the project that needs to be worked on, but I'd love to work on something.
Well, my experience has been there's a lot of cool things that people in this building have built that won't really ever see the light of day because they don't have the distribution, that sales is not their skill set. A lot of, if we looked at the collective hours that were put into projects that don't come to fruition, not for lack of effort or even talent or really cool stuff, maybe if we could pair it up at the outset with the distribution and the partnership, there'd be an opportunity there. So, is there another?
I just actually had a question for you on that, maybe to the group. I've started a couple ventures, and I've kind of had to go outside of Minneapolis for talent. And I truly believe that Minneapolis is probably one of the most talented cities, especially tech-wise, in the United States. But to your point, it's very, very difficult for me to convince someone at your caliber to say, yeah, can you work nights and weekends on this startup idea that I have? Obviously, I need to sell the person on it, but that whole nights and weekends thing, it doesn't exist here. And that's what I've seen because of other cultural purposes or whatever the case is. I guess my question to you is how many other people are out there like that? If you're looking for projects, there might be more of those people. I think there probably is. I mean, you think about like contributing to open source projects. So I spend time at night like Googling, which open source project should I contribute to? I just want to dabble on something, go learn something new. I'd much rather dabble on something where maybe I could be a part of a project that actually gets a payday. You're not going to get a payday on contributing to an open source project, but you scratch an itch with like learning some new technology or feeling good that you contributed to something. Or so yeah, there is like a disconnect between connecting needs and people that want to needs and resources.
Sir.
So there was some talk about Minnesota is not Silicon Valley, or let's team up on that. Something that frustrated me